There are memorials and markers all over the state paying homage to Illinois' past history, claims to fame. Here's a few examples. Charles Lindbergh. Does anybody remember Charles Lindbergh? You probably didn't know him personally, but you might have heard about him or read about him in a book. Well, before he flew across the Atlantic, he was a mail pilot. And one of the places he flew was here in Illinois, and on 2 occasions he crashed. Better now than when he was crossing the Atlantic. We visited one of those crash sites, and I'd like to share that with you. Now, this is a little marker that's up by Norway, Illinois. It shows, well, it has a brief description about the fact that he was flying the mail one day. He was heading towards Chicago and ran into foggy conditions, so he turned around for the airport. Unbeknownst to him, the mechanic that had worked on his plane that day had found out his gas tank was leaking and swapped it out for one that was smaller than the one he thought he had. So he ran out of fuel and was forced to crash his plane. He survived, spent the night at a local farmer's house, and the next day they came by with a horse and a wagon and hauled his airplane away. But this is the marker for that crash. It's very easy to find, and I encourage you all to go and take a look at it.
On the marker, it's also noted that during this flight, it was on September 16th, 1926. And at the time, as John indicated, Charles Lindbergh wasn't very well known in these particular areas. He was only 24 at the time when he experienced this wreck. So that was also interesting. That was included here in the description on this little monument that we came across.
And the next slide, I believe, is a blow-up of the monument. So you can read it a little better for yourself.
There we go.
Is it right on 71 then?
It's actually just off 71.
Off of 71.
Just off 71?
There's a small sign that says, I believe, Charles Lindbergh crash site.
There's a bunch of seats up front if you want to see.
Pardon?
There is an airplane on Route 71 that is crashed.
Correct.
There is. I'm going to be speaking about that in just a moment, but it doesn't relate to Charles Lindbergh.
Okay.
And it should also be noted that there's a house right across the street from this crash site. They have a large dog on the porch. The dog does come out. The dog will sniff your legs. Then the dog will go back up and lay back down as if you're not important enough to bite. I didn't know whether to feel relieved or insulted.